so I'm back with a quick part 2 on the engine assembly for this Jimmy Flintstone resin kit. Let me grab the box. Well, just take a picture of the box. This is Nitro Bums Fuel Flyer, and that's what it's going to look like, or a near facsimile. That's the idea, but my version eventually. But just want to show you just a quick. Not much to the engine. This is actually 3 parts. The block and the oil pan and the blower manifold are all one piece. It's going to need some carving and shaping because you're going to have some resin endpoints where it was poured. They're going to need cleaned up. The cylinder heads are separate pieces. You're going to need to grind the bottoms of those down to get a clean fit too. I use my large vertical sander to take that down, and then I'll clean up the back here a little bit more with a little more light sanding with some fine paper. But just to make it easier on yourself, on the blower assembly, pin it, drill it and pin it. So I drilled this out. I have a brass pin for this here, as you can see, and I can adjust the depth of it. Once I glue it, I use a thick Zappa Gap on pretty much everything, and once I get it set, you can kick it if you want to. The blower and the belt is cast out of metal, and I went on and drilled a hole in the back of that, so that will just bolt, right up to here, and it will actually support the weight of it. Geez, I don't know if I can get this to hang on here one-handed because the pin's going to go in. Oh, hang on a second. You can look at some other stuff on my bench there real fast while I'm doing that. Just hang that on there. Oh, and of course it fell off. I can't do this one-handed. You get the idea. That's going to sturdy it up by putting that pin in there and drilling that hole. The only other parts you've got a nice little goofy blower scoop to go on there. You've got the exhaust, which is also going to need cleaned up. It's cast out of pewter, and I'm probably going to drill out the end of that to make it look hollow. That goes out the other side, and you got a little starter that goes on there, and that's all there is to the motor. And then of course it's going to mount up in your wagon pan like that, and Nitro Bum's just going to hang off the back of there once everything's ready. So anyway, the biggest thing was just advising you to pin these pieces. Again, just for sturdiness. It's just so much easier, and your model's going to last a lot longer. I always use CA glues on everything. It's not really almost a must with resin. I've used the Zappa Gap for years. It's thick, fills a lot of little cracks and crevices and bubbles. Like case in point, the Banana Splits guys back here, they're in primer base coat right now, but they had a lot of pinholes in them. They're still not perfect, but the CA fills a lot of multitude of sins. The Nitro Billy kit back here, he was much better, but his arms, the one arm is multi-piece, and he was all filled with CA and glued back together, sanded, real nicely. And same with Nitro Bomb. Whenever I did him way back, he was put together with CA and then filled and sanded too. And I'll use spot putty to fill in, feather in. I used to use the old Squadron putty. I do once in a while still on real light feathering, but most of the time now I will use the Tamiya putty, which it just hardens like plastic, so it works and fills really well. So anyway, that was the last little update, and stay tuned. We're getting close to more primer, and start painting.